Good morning, everybody. I am Sadhna Srivastav, TGT English, KV number 1, Armapur, Kanpur. Today, I am going to take up a topic which is not so usual, or you can say it is unconventional. The topic that I have taken today is not restricted to any class or any age group. It can be watched by anyone or everyone, and I hope that everyone would be benefited by this video of mine. Yes, I think that at the end of the video you will feel that you have come across certain things that were not so well known by you. So as you see, my topic is appropriate use of seemingly similar words. There are certain words which seem to be very similar, but they are technically different. We cannot use one word at the place of other. We can not replace a word with the other. So they are different. There are some words that seem to be similar in meaning but are slightly different in the usage. As I have earlier said, that there are certain pairs of words which seem to be so similar that we don't realize the technical difference between them, but they are different. So people make mistakes in using these words. Sometimes they are confused which word to be used. I have taken certain pairs of words and I want to differentiate them by my efforts. Children, see, this is a playground. A cricket match is being played here. In your timetable also, there is a games period. Have you ever thought why it is not a sports period? Why it is a games period? There is a difference between games and sports. And do you know it? Okay, so I am going to tell you the difference between games and sports. Games are played for entertainment or enjoyment. They involve physical and mental activity or both. They follow a set of rules. So you have games period because you can recreate yourself. This is for entertainment or enjoyment. It may be for personal, you can say, enjoyment, and it involves either physical or mental activity or both. Like if you play Ludo, your mental activity is involved. If you play video games, your mental activity is involved. You have to decide which move to make, and of course there are certain rules. But sport is combined with a nation or the team of individual. That means when a person plays a particular sport, he is playing for the name and the fame of his country or his team. Suppose football team of our school KV number 1 Armapur Kanpur is playing a match with KV number 2 Armapur. This is the question of the prestige, the glory of our school. So it is not a team, it is not any individual who is playing. The entire institution, the entire team plays. For example, Sachin Tendulkar plays for Indian cricket team, and he is not an individual. He represents his whole nation. And usually sports involve physical activity and competition is involved. Obviously, when a person is playing for the glory, for the fame of one's team, there must be competition, a feeling of competition that he should win the match and bring a glory to his team. Now, the word teacher and mentor. I think that every student is familiar with the word teacher because he is in the school, he is in close contact with the teacher, he is in close association with the teacher. The word mentor, we have come across this word many a times on reality shows, on Dance India Dance, on Indian Idol or Saregama, like that. So, the basic difference between a teacher and a mentor is that a teacher shares his knowledge through instructions or explanation, and usually he gives a formal education. That means a teacher is associated with some organization, with some school, and he tries to impart the knowledge through instructions or explanations. What has to be done by you? What is the thing? He explains everything. But a mentor does not impart any knowledge. He advises, he guides and enhances the skill. He usually polishes the innate skills of a person. How? Suppose I don't know how to sing a song. No mentor in the world can teach me how to sing a song. No one. But suppose I don't know German language, or I don't know any language, a teacher can teach me, can enable me to know that language. So this is the difference between a teacher and mentor. Suppose I can dance, not very well dance, but I can dance. And if I go to some mentor, he can work on me. How can I make my dance more attractive, more polished? He can advise me, he can guide me what to do, how to do. But he cannot teach me anything. He cannot teach me to dance. Right? I think the difference is clear to you between teacher and mentor. Now comes syllabus and curriculum. Of course, syllabus is a very usual term with the students because in the beginning of their session, academic session, they are provided with a syllabus. Sometimes the month is also mentioned, in which month what topics would be taught. But syllabus is different from curriculum. Syllabus connotes the subject as well as the topic covered in the course of study. It is usually decided by the examination board. Right. So the examination board decides which subjects and which topics are to be covered for each class. For example, you are the student of CBSE board. It may be ICSE board or UP board, MP board, Rajasthan board. There are so many examination boards. So they are free to decide in class 10th or in class 12th which subjects the students will study and under which subject what topics would be covered. How? ICSE board allows the student to opt commerce from standard 9th. It means that the students of class 9th can opt commerce stream and they can leave science and mathematics if they don't want to study. But CBSE board has made it a compulsory for every student to study science, maths, English, Hindi and social studies. So syllabus is decided by the examination board, and curriculum is a guideline of a chapters and the academic content covered by the educational system. It includes knowledge, attitude, teaching method, assignment, physical and mental exercises. It means curriculum covers a vast space. It is decided by the educational policy makers, and in the education system of a nation, what should be the teaching method, what should be the assessing policy, what should be the examination pattern, assignments, project, curricular activities and co-curricular activities, everything is included in curriculum. So next time when you hear this word syllabus and curriculum, remember this difference between syllabus and curriculum. Now lawyer and advocate. Of course, a very confusing term, and many people are confused where to use lawyer and where to use advocate. I have heard many a times adults saying, my grandfather was a lawyer. No, grandfather cannot be a lawyer, because lawyer is a person who is in the process of learning law. That means a student who is pursuing LLB or who is pursuing the study of law is called a lawyer. He is not eligible to stand in the court and represent his client. He can give legal advice because he knows the law well, so he can provide you legal advice, but he cannot fight a case for you or against you. Whereas an advocate is a person who has completed his study of law, and he can stand in the court to represent his client. So this is the difference. Lawyer is still a student of law. Now you see a picture. There students are shown in both the picture, but there is a difference. The difference is, first picture represents students and the second picture shows a disciple. So my next pair of word is student and disciple. A student joins any institution or enrolls himself with some educational body. He receives formal education and he appears in the exams and get a pass certificate. That means any person who has got admission in some school, in some college or university, or who is enrolled with some board, with some educational body. It is not necessary that he should be a regular student. He can be a private student, but he should have his registration with some educational body, and he receives formal education and he appears in the examination and gets a pass certificate. To proceed to the next level, he has to clear the exam and he has to pass the exam also. Otherwise, he is not permitted by the educational body to go to the next level. A disciple learns something from a teacher, but not academics. It is not necessary that a disciple should get some academic lesson. Usually he gets intellectual and spiritual knowledge from his guru. The education is informal. that is, the teacher or the guru does not follow any syllabus, does not follow any curriculum, no exam is there, no degree is given, but the disciple learns. He learns. The lesson may be intellectual or spiritual. So this is the difference between disciple and student. Now comes weather and climate. Of course, this is also sometimes wrongly used by the students. The weather is the condition of atmosphere over a short period of time. It is a short-term change in the climate in a specific area. It can change any time and varies rapidly. It means, for example, I take the weather of Kanpur. Suppose my son from Bengaluru calls me and he asks me, Mama, how is the weather in Kanpur today? And it is, of course, a very hot and sunny day. I would say the weather is very hot, it is very unpleasant, you can say. But suppose it rains in the evening, the weather becomes pleasant at night. I can say, yes, weather is very pleasant, it is rainy weather. So, weather varies, it changes, it can change very rapidly, and it remains constant for a very small short period of time. But climate, it is the average weather condition of a particular place over a long time. Usually it is constant for long period of time. For example, if we talk about the climate of Kashmir, the climate of Kashmir is very cold, right? But for some particular days, the weather may be sunny, the weather may be a bit warm, but we cannot say that the climate of Jammu Kashmir or Kashmir is warm. The climate is the weather conditions for a long period of time. So you can say the general weather condition is climate, and it usually does not change. Weather condition changes very rapidly. Now, pills and tablets. I have heard many people saying that I have taken the pills for headache, for stomach ache, or suppose the student may say, ma'am, I have fever and I have taken pills. But there is a difference between pills and tablets. Pills are round oral dosage of medicine. As you see in the picture, we can call any medicine pill if it is round in shape. And tablets, they are the pills of any size and any shape. They may be rectangular, they may be square or oval. So all the pills, including medicines of other shapes, may be called tablets. So pills may also come under the head tablets, but all the tablets are not pills. Now, guarantee and warranty. Sometimes when you go to buy some product, some electronic gadget, the shopkeeper promises you to give you a guarantee or a warranty. Have you ever heard what is the basic difference between guarantee and warranty? Guarantee is a promise or assurance that the product is of best quality, and guarantee assures to return money or money back guarantee is given in the written form. In nutshell, if you purchase a mobile phone and the camera of mobile is not working properly, they have given you a guarantee for 1 year, so you can go to the particular shop and ask for the money you have paid, and they are liable to return your money because they have given you guarantee. Warranty is usually a written guarantee for a product, and it promises to repair or replace the product within the stipulated time. That means if you have gone to purchase a TV or a mobile or a watch, anything, and you have got a warranty of 1 year, within 1 year, if there is some malfunctioning of the product, suppose the camera is not working, you go to the shop, and because you have got the warranty for 1 year and your mobile is under the warranty period, you may claim to repair the camera, or if replacement is necessary, they can replace the camera of your mobile. They would not give you your money back. And guarantee, you can get back your money. But now the companies have become very smart. They don't give guarantee, they give warranty for 1 year, for 6 months, whatever it is. And I hope that you have come across many things which you may not be knowing before. I am sure that when you use these terms in future, the difference that I have told you will be helpful to you in any way. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. I have much more to be shared with you. So wait for my next video. Till then, okay, bye-bye.